which record on which subject or which site ID or what was the study these subjects or records belong to. Then we have subject demographs. After subject demographs, we have population flags. Then we have treatment variables. It can be treatment variables and treatment date and time variables also. So we already discussed in the last class study identifiers, subject demographs, population indicators, and treatment variables. And we are discussing date and time variables, right? Trial dates and date and time variables. So first what we did, we took our SGTM DM as our base data set, and we bought all the study identifiers and subject demograph variables from DM. Then what we have done, we have taken RFST-DTC and RF-ENDTC and converted into date format. This is a macro called %DTC under display. What this macro is doing, this macro is converting IS8601 date formats into date 9 format and time 5 dot format. So we have a separate date variable and separate time variable. This is the macro that we have used, and I have sent everyone this macro. Even you can use this macro if you want in real-time scenarios. And what is a safety flag? Safety flag is nothing but, any one of you? This will be standard in all the companies. Safety flag will be standard in all the companies.
When one dosage is given, then the safety flag will be yes.
Yes, if patient has received at least one dose of drug, that is called safety population flag. It is same in all the studies. Might be work in any company, same rule. If patient has received at least one dose of drug, that patient is considered as safety subject in all the companies. And we have arm and arm code. What is arm and actual arm? Arm is the planned treatment and actual arm is the actual treatment that is, yeah, that has been assigned to the patient. What we have done after that, we have created treatment 1 planned variable, treatment 2 planned variable. They are nothing but, I'm repeating this again because a lot of people might have some questions because you might have been already went through the code. So I'll just go quickly with this. Let's say I have test and reference treatments. Okay, let us consider this as my arm, and test will be my TRT O1P, and reference will be my TRT O2P. So my TRT O1P will be having a value called test, and TRT O2P will be having a value called reference. And I can also assign numeric for this called as TRT O1PN, planned numeric, and TRT O2PN. And I can assign value for this as 1 because this is an O1PN, and I can assign a value for this as 2. So this is my arm. What is actual arm? If the same treatments has been given to the patient as planned, these are the planned treatments. These test and reference are the planned treatments on different days. So if same treatment has been assigned to the patient as planned, actual arm will also be same. Actual arm will be same until unless we have both planned and assigned same, then it will be same values. But instead of O1P and O2P, we'll be having here O1A and O2A, and we'll be having values as O1AN and O2AN. So we have created those variables also, and we have this unplanned treatment because for a couple of subjects they have been withdrawn from our study due to some reason. For those subjects, we will assign an unplanned treatment. Where are we getting this unplanned treatment? Because implementation guide says to assign treatment as unplanned treatment. If they haven't given any treatment, then you should keep it as no treatment. Here it is an unplanned treatment. And then we started deriving our flags for our study. So what is an enrollment flag? If patient has signed the informed consent, those subjects are called as an enrolled subjects. How do we get this information? It will be coming from one of our data sets called disposition data sets. So if subject has enrolled in the study, might be he is taking the drug or not. He can be a safety subject or not. Even a safety subject no can have enrollment flag. Why? Because if subject has signed informed consent, then he will have an enrollment flag. Why? It is separate from safety flag. Then what is a hemodynamic flag? This definition has been given in our SAP. What is hemodynamic flag? If patient has completed the study, then he comes under hemodynamic flag. All the patients have safety flag, yes, but might be some of the patients not been in our study till end of our study. So subjects who haven't been in our study till end of the study, those subjects will have flag called no, other subjects will be having flag called Y. And what is randomization? Grouping of the patients into our study treatments is called randomization. And people who has been grouped into different study treatments have a randomization flag Y, and they have a randomization date also. This also comes from our disposition data set. Then what we have done, we have merged all these three data sets to get one record per subject, because this is a subject level data set. Then what we started, we took an exposure data set from our SDTM, and we are only considering study treatment because we have doxycycline, placebo, and udinafil. Doxycycline is an drug. Doxycycline is not related to our study drug. These two are our study drugs, udinafil and placebo. Idinafil is an active drug, and placebo is an no. It doesn't have any dose value. So we are only selecting these two records for each patient from our exposure data set. So if I see my EX now, so this is my first treatment date and this is my second treatment date. So as per our protocol, what are our treatment days? Day 13 and 18, right? So if you see how many days gap between day 13 and 18, 5 days. So if you see here, this is September 30 and this is October 5th. We have 5 days gap. So period 1 is my day 13, period 2 is my day 18. Period 1 can be test or reference and period 2 can also be test or reference. It depends on the randomization. So here we are till last class. Any questions so far? Any one of you from last class notes?
Sir, if you go up in the second, yeah, best dot, yeah, that we are doing the treatment sequence, plan number, input scan arm. Yeah, that line I don't
Yeah,
understand.
because when you're first, what am I doing? I'm using scan function. Forget about input statement. First, only concentrate here on the highlighted part. Let's focus it till here, from here to here. First, what scan is doing? It is selecting first part of my ARM code. Where is my DM? I think here. Uh, you can apply multiple functions at same time, right? So
Yeah.
first, what am I doing? I'm taking my ARM code and I am taking, what am I taking as my delimiter? Bracket, right? I'm taking space and bracket as my delimiter and I'm selecting the first word. So what happens? It selects number 2.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it selects number 2. Then what am I saying? I'm converting into numeric. This is a character variable, right? And even
Mm.
2, which I have used my scan function, will be in character format. So then I'm converting my character format into numeric by using put input function, character to numeric. What input does? Character to numeric. But I'm doing both of them in a single step. If you want to
Sir,
compress, you can also use compress here.
yeah. Sir, but this is double quote and this is single quote. That's what I'm confused with.
What double
Like,
quote and single quote?
you have after one comma, then double quote, then a space, and closing bracket, and then single quote, right?
Yeah, I have a single quote here. I have also
Oh,
single quote
that's a,
here.
oh, okay, I see as double quote. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And anyways, when we are converting either numeric to character or character to numeric, we have to assign a particular format. So we are assigning a format here.
Okay.
So now we got most of the information for flags, all these things, and now we'll merge all this data. Now I'm merging my DM1, which have treatment variables. I'm merging my DS1, which I have my flag variables, and now I'm merging my EX, where I have my treatment dates information. Okay, I'm merging all this by using. Something happened. It's not parentic notation. It's not reading the macro. Okay, I know. The path has been not given correct. Still. Let us copy the path again. Okay, now it's good. So now we had all the information for treatments and study identifiers and subject demographic state values, my treatment date values here. Okay, now what was my next step? If I go to my implementation guide, now I have variables called TRT, STT, date of first exposure to treatment. Date of first exposure to treatment for a subject in a study are required if there is an investigation product, and it is the TRT STM is nothing but start time, and this is nothing but date and time. Here we will be only having date part. Here we will be only having time part. Here we will be having both date and time format. Where are we getting this information from? I'm using my RF XS TDC, which is my protocol treatment start date. So I'm taking this variable for that. What function I'm using? I have option called date part of, and I'm converting character to numeric. First of all, I'm converting character to numeric. There is one more standard format called E8601DT dot, which converts into numeric date9 dot format. If you want date, it converts into date9 format. If you want time, it converts into time5 dot format. If you want date and time, you need date time 15 dot. So first here we are only selecting the date. Here we are only selecting the time. Here we are converting the entire date and time into numeric. Similarly for treatment end date, end time, and end date and time, what we are using RF X ENDTC. So I'm applying the formats here for start date and end date. For dates, I'm applying date 9. Can someone mute that?
Sorry.
If you want start time and end time, and we are applying again format here. Here we are applying date time 15 dot for date and time. Let us run this and see how these dates are coming. TRT. See, this is my treatment start date, which is in date 9 format. My start time, start date and time. So which has 15 dot. If you count this, it will be 15 dot format. End date, end time, end date and time. Normally in companies, you'll be having macros for this also. You won't be creating or using individual steps like this. You'll be having some macros to convert your tests, like we had one here.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I get confused with you selected date and time from date part, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the first set, you selected date and time from the date part, right?
Yes.
So, how to know that from where to select the date, you know?
No, it is only we took the entire date. This RFXST DTC contains date and time both, but here we are saying select only date. Date part. What date part function does is it selects only date and converts into character to numeric. And why is date 9 applied? Because here we applied again format here.
Sir, but you said that E8601DT already does it, right?
No, but what it does is it does according to the, let's say I'm not using this. Let's run this. What happens? It calculates according to 1960 date first. Then we can apply our format.
Oh, so it doesn't do. Okay.
If you see now, see what it is does. If it is an date, it is
Oh,
calculating number of days. If it is time, it is calculating number of minutes, and it is not in a right format. Now this is what is running in the background. So once we apply the format, first of all we need to convert the formats into what
numeric.
SAS recognizes. Then
Oh,
we need to apply our format what we need.
oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't works like 9.2, right?
No, those formats are different formats. 9.2 indicates that you are applying some decimals, right? That only applies to weights or heights or any values. For dates, you have to use these date nines or IS8601 or E8601 DT dot, or we have other formats like YYY DD 10 dot.
Yes.
Yeah, we have different formats for dates. So what all we got now? So we got it till here. Priority statement, start date, start time, start date and time. Uh, we don't need this. We got end date, end time, end date and time. Now we need to create 01 SDT, 01 STTM. So what is 01 STT? Nothing but the date assigned to this one, right? This is 01A. So same like that, we have date for this and date for this also. So we'll now create date part for this variable and time part for this one, and again date and time. So on like for this also. Date, time, and date and time. What variables can I use for that? We already created two variables called period 1 and period 2 right here. If I go to my EX, this is my period 1, which is nothing but TRT 01 start date. Period 2 is nothing but TRT 0 to start date. Let's see what we are taking here. Here I am renaming my period under 1 as period 2, period under 2 as period 3. I am renaming this as period 2 and this as period 3.
So why are we doing that?
Because I don't want any confusion, because I have one more treatment called doxycycline, right? Right? I have one more treatment called doxycycline. I will consider this as my period 1. I want to consider this as my period 2 and I want to consider this as my, just to indicate there are 3 different dates for 3 different drugs. So
Okay.
this is already done, which is nothing but my treatment start date. So where is this coming from? Uh, Literally speaking, what is this date? On day 1, what is given? Doxycycline, right? On day 1 to
Yes.
day 13, doxycycline is given.
Doxotis. Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to any confusion. So this is the doxycycline date. Treatment start date is nothing but my doxycycline date, because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't given any test or reference on day 1, right? I
Yeah.
have given only my test and reference from day 13. So I'm considering in the background, like let's say this as my period 1 and these others 2 as, this is as my day 13 as period 2 and day 18 as period
Period
3.
three.
No,
Okay.
just I
Yeah.
am renaming it, but it's okay. If you don't rename also, that's fine. Because at the anyway at the end we are not reporting period 1 or period 2 because we don't have those variables in my ADSL, right? Okay. Now period 2 will be my O1 SDT, O1 STM and O1 SDTM, which is nothing but my day 13. Period 3 will be my treatment to start the time.
So
So
what is period 3?
day 18.
Yeah, but how are we getting that?
We already got it from EX, right? This will be day 13 and this will be day 18. We already got
Okay.
this data set.
Okay. Okay.
The,
From here.
yeah, these two variables.
Okay.
Let me run this piece of code and you'll understand more better. So how many days this test and reference is given? Only one day, right?
Yes.
So day 13 I'm giving, let's say day 13 I am giving test. What will be end date for test?
Date 13 only.
Yeah, day 13 only. What will be end date for my reference? Day 18
18.
only.
Yeah.
So again, what am I doing? For treatment end date, I'm again see for treatment 01 SDT and 01 end date. For both, I'm using period 2 only. Because on day 13, the drug has given and on day 13 only it has been ended, right? So I'm
Yeah.
taking start date and end date as both same. Here also same thing. O2 on day 18 it has been started and on day 18 it has been ended. I'm applying my formats. For dates, I'm applying date 9, time I'm applying this, and date and time I'm applying this. Now you will get more picture if I open the data set. See, total how many days was our study plan? 18 days, right?
Yes.
So what was my first date? 18 September. What was my treatment start date? My first day one is September 18.
18th.
What is my all treatments end date? October 5th. If you subtract September 18 from this one, what is the total number of days? It is 18, right? 18, 19, there are 2 days. Until 30, it is 12 days. And here, do you have September? So it's 18, 19, 20. Here we have 13 days till September 30, right? 18, 19, 20 and 10 more days.
Yeah.
And here we have 5 more days, 18 days, right? And from here, if I calculate O1 SDTM treatment start date and O1 SDTM, the difference should be 13, right? Because O1 SDTM is my day 13. On 18 September, we are starting the treatment. And if I count 13 plus days, it is my 30 September, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let us consider now as 3 periods, 1, 2, and 3. This is nothing but doxycytosine. This can be either test or reference, depends. For some patients it is test and for some patients it is reference. So what was my date here? 18 September. And this is said as day 1. And what is this? Day 13. And this is my day 18.
18.
And what are the dates assigned? 18 September,
5th October.
30
30th September
September,
and 5 October.
and
And
5 October. Now it is matching our dates, right?
Yes.
So we need to check like that. We need to go back to our protocol and then we need to come here and make sure that we are deriving the right dates. Yes, we are deriving the right dates. And if you see again here, O1 SDTM and O1 N date should be same again. That's what we said right earlier. Both of these dates are same again. Because day 13 it has been started and day 13 it has been ended.
ended.
Similarly, O2 SDTM and O2 EDTM are same because day 18 it has been started and day 18 it has been ended. But study has not ended on day 18. Study has 3 to 4 more days final visit, right? There is
Yes.
one more date for final visit. Yeah, this is how these dates are derived now. And we have only one record per subject.
When the dosage gets over, that will be the last date, right,
Yeah,
sir?
for dose it is the last date, but not for our study.
Okay.
It is not my RFE and DTC. RFE and DTC is nothing but my final visit date, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now it's easier, right? But it looks confusing, but if you know the concept behind it, if you understand the study, that's not tough. So even after creating the dataset, you need to make sure what days what drug was given and what was the difference between days. Am I deriving the right dates? And after creating, you also need to make sure that, let's say I'm creating this date. See, okay, this is numeric date and format is applied date time 15 dot because it looks as character date, right? Because we are having OCT, but still it is a numeric date. Why? Because that's what has been requested in Adam implementation guide. If you see here, they want numeric dates for EDT, ETM, and EDTM. STM, SDTM, and SDT. They need only numeric dates.
Numeric.
So you need to make sure. Sometimes what happens if you only apply date 9 format without applying this format has been created. I think this is not working in 9.2. I tried, but this is working in 9.3. Previously, we need to do more steps to convert into numeric. Now it has been easy because you are applying this one and saying date part and applying input function and applying the format.
So what else we had to do previously? Like how were we doing?
First, we are converting into number of days or number of minutes and applying YYYY 10 dot. Then we are converting into numeric. We are just having one more step. There are different ways of converting the dates.
Okay.
Even some people might not use this. There are a lot other formats. Even I don't know all the formats. If you go to SAS thing, or if you type in Google different types of date formats, you'll be getting like 70, 80 date formats. Only learn 3 to 4 where you can use it for converting all the type dates and times. Don't get confused. If you go to more formats, you'll be getting more confused. How is this working? How is that working? And you'll get more confusion. Okay. Now what am I doing? I'm taking my vital signs dataset. What information does vital signs contain?
all the tests.
What are vital signs? Blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure,
Yeah,
heart rate, height, weight,
heart rate.
BMI.
Heart rate.
All these things comes
Gender.
under vital signs, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it hasn't been shown here, but normally vital signs information can also be saved in ADSL. Might be in the version 2.0, I think. Let us download 2.0. I think this is not the complete implementation guide. And this is just not getting downloaded. Yeah, I'll try to get it after the class 2.1. Even we will include vital signs information from here, but we won't include all the vital signs information. We'll be including only height, weight, and BMI. Why I'm only including my height, weight, and BMI? Because in my tables and listings, I'll be using those information. If I go to my demographics table, if we'll be working on how to create this table. So this table contains information of demographics like age, ethnicity, race, and it also contains information of height, weight, and BMI. Why are we creating analysis data sets first of all? Any one of you?
Sir, we have to send to FDA, right?
No, it's not required, but
To
what is
create
the
the report.
to create the report? Yes, we can also create it from DM directly We can do the same thing in my tables program, and I can directly create my output. I don't need, because I already had all the information in my SDTM datasets. Why am I again creating analysis datasets?
It becomes easier to generate your tables and listings later on if you have a data set pertaining information to certain
Yeah.
type.
Yes. And what basically is like, I have information in different places, right? I have treatment information in a different place. I have start date and date information in a different place. Now, when I am looking, I'm creating my table. If I go and look back to my data sets, I'll get confusion because I need to take care of DM, I need to take care of DS, I need to take care of EX, and I need to take care of vital signs. So I need to pull the information from multiple places. So, but if I create my analysis data set, I have all the information at one place, and now I have more picture on my study. See, if I see dates like this, I have more picture. What is happening? Okay, this is my first treatment date, which is day 1. This is my second treatment date, which is nothing but my day 13. This is my third treatment date, which is my yeah, O2 is nothing but third treatment, day 18, and O1 is nothing but day 13. I'll have a clear picture at one place. So it's easier to use single data set for all my tables. Most of the tables can be created by ADSL and whatever analysis data sets that we are creating. But all the information for the study is here. Which subjects has been discontinued the study, which how many subjects has been enrolled, how many subjects has been randomized, what was their first treatment date, and what was their demographic information. So by using this single data set, we can output our things, and these data sets should be always traceable back to my SDTM, and my SDTM datasets should be always traceable to my raw datasets. So as I need my vital signs information to print it in my demographics baseline table, I'm bringing my information from vital signs dataset. But I need only screening information because I'm only printing out in my demographics table my screening information, and as analysis dataset is an only subject level dataset, I'm only selecting the visit with screening records, and I'm selecting height, weight, and BMI.
So what is BMI?
Body mass index, out is equal to VS.
So,
Now, yeah,
traceability means mapping, right?
yeah,
If we change at what place, it will get affected, right?
yeah. Traceability is nothing but, let's say I have this data set here. So where am I getting this date from? If I go back to my exposure, I should be able to find out these dates. I should be able to compare with my EX data set. And if I go to EX information, where am I getting that information from? My raw data
Yeah.
sets. I need to go
Mhm.
to my raw data set called EXEX, and I need to be able to map it to my raw data set.
Yeah.
So if FDA got some doubt like why is this date missing here, then where they will go? Either to my SDTM or to my raw
Yeah.
dataset. SDTM dataset also contains information why this date is missing, right? It will have
Yeah.
more details in my
Mhm.
SDTM dataset. So that's how they should be traceable back. Suppose someone has derived O1 n time a wrong date and you are using this dataset to create your table, then where you'll go? You'll go back to SDTM dataset. Are they doing mistake in SDTM dataset, or are they doing a mistake in creating analysis dataset? So
Okay.
it should be always traceable.
Mhm.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
It means the FDA people, they will always look at the Adam variables.
No, they look at all the data sets. They even look at the raw data
Also
sets. Yeah, we need to
okay.
send raw data sets, SDTM data sets, and ADAM data set. But they won't go through complete raw data sets because they have already standard data sets which they need. When they got some difference, or when they try to find, they think that there is some error going on, then they'll trace back to.
Then we'll check it. Okay, sir.
Uh, Now I want these variables, these values as my variable names. I need to use my watched. See, I have three observations right here. So I have patient number 1. I have my height, weight, BMI. And I have some values here, might be 10, 20, 30. Now I want to do this data set like this. 1, height, weight, BMI, and I want values like this. What can I do?
Sir, proc transpose.
What is it?
Transpose.
Okay. So what will be my ID variable here? Let's consider this as VS test code, and let us consider this as VS OS. Tarak, can you answer me? What will be my ID variable? Tarak, what will be my ID variable? This is VS test code. This is VS ORRES. Shravya,
Yes.
what will be my ID variable? What all options do I have in my proc transpose? ID, where, and by. Maunika,
One.
what will be my ID variable? What is an ID?
Sir, variable test code.
Yeah, so what will be my ID variable? VS test code. What will be my where? Monica, please. Monica, can you answer? Yes, VS or ES. What will be my ID variable? Anjali, let us consider this as my subject ID. Subject ID, VS test code, and VS or ES. What will be my ID variable? Anjali?
VS test course.
No. How can you do VS test code as my? No,
Sorry,
I'm talking about by variable.
by by subject ID.
Yeah, because we are doing it by subject ID, right? Don't
Yes.
get confused. What is my ID? What am I creating? What values I want to convert as my IDs? These are my
Yes.
IDs, height, weight, and BMI. So for ID, it will be this one. For where it will be values that need to be printed for my ID variable. This will be my by. So that's what I'm doing here. ID will be VS test code. Instead of VS ORRES, I'm using VS STRESN, which is in numeric values by subject ID. And if I run this piece of code now, previously we have this one. Because it is only subject level data set, we need only one record per one subject. So we got 24 records who is having their BMI, height, and their weight. Now we will merge all these data sets, and we are also deriving one more flag called withdraw flag. If subject has completed the study, what will be withdrawal flag?
Yes.
Yes.
No, because if he has completed, it is vice versa, right? Has
Oh,
subject
yeah, no,
been withdrawn? No.
no, yeah.
Yeah. So we are also deriving that flag. We are getting this information from DS. It is same like hemodynamic flag. Hemodynamic flag does the same thing. Hemodynamic flag is same like this withdrawal flag. Now I'm merging my TRT01 DT, my DS, and my vital signs.
Sir, how come it's the same? It's here if it's completed. If it's not completed, then withdrawal is asked.
Yeah, but
But there,
what I mean is like we are using same information, right? Though DS cat and DS term for completion. It's vice versa, but same
oh,
information has been
okay,
used. That's
okay,
what I mean.
okay, okay, okay.
Even you can use that flag also, right? For withdrawal things. Just it is, you need to select no instead of yes, and you need to select yes instead of no.
Okay.
So now I got my ADSL 3. Where is it? Here. Now we have all the information here. Treatments, demographic information, subject identifiers, a treatment O1PN, numeric variables, date and time variables, study treatment variables. We also have vital signs information. And now we are creating all the labels for the variables that has been created. And we are only keeping the required variables as per our Adam. Okay, now we got ADSL. Okay, we got all the variables, but they're not sorted as per our Adam dataset. I'm using my retain. ADSL. Now I got my study ID, use subject ID, site ID. I got my study identifiers. I got my age units, my demographics information. Now I got my flags. Now I got my treatments, treatment numeric and character O1P, O1PN, O2P, O2PN, O1A, O1AN, O2A, O2AN. Now they are assigned in an order. This is sequence planned. This is numeric one. This is sequence actual. And this is the numeric version for that. And I have my randomized date, treatment start dates, treatment end date, treatment O1 start date, O1 end dates, O2 start date, O2 end date, BL, weight, height, BMI. I have my other demographic variables, birth date, and ethnic. This is ADSL. Any questions?
Sir, standard ADSL variable does not have those BL weight, BL height,
Yeah,
BL BMI, baseline
you
BMI.
can still have more variables even if it is not mentioned in. Even we don't have withdrawal one, we don't have DS code. Still we are having because we might need it out for our study. You can create more variables if you need. It is if it
Oh,
is an study relevant information, even if it's Adam implementation guide doesn't specifies, you can create some variables if you think those are required for your tables. That's what we are creating our analysis dataset, right? If they are limiting to particular rules, whatever variables for date and time, you need to follow the rules. But for other variables, if you think they are required, if you can create it. But those variables should be at the end, which are not according to our ADSL should be placed at the end. These all are not according to my ADSL, right?
yes, sir.
So I'm placing this at the end because I need this information. Instead of merging again ADSL with DM to get this information when I'm creating my tables, it is easier to have it in ADSL, right? So that's the reason I'm creating this. I think in 2.1 I have seen they have included these vital signs variables also.
So which one you gave us is not
No,
2.1?
no, not 2.1. It is 1.0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Adam implementation guide.
What is this DSD code?
We have it in disposition dataset. It's coming from disposition dataset. Where did we create it? And have everyone received these all SDTM datasets that we have created that I have sent to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try start to work on any other datasets, and if you have questions, then let me know. And Faisal, were you able to figure out yesterday with the date time thing by using proc-SQL?
Yeah, that worked out perfectly fine. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, that's okay. Good.
One question I had, is there any way that we can define the length or the format within that proc SQL statement as well itself?
Yes.
Okay. I was toying with that, couldn't get through to that. Maybe I was using a wrong syntax somewhere. So like,
Uh, but sometimes you might get an error because if you need to change length, sometimes you need to rename your variable because a specific length has been already assigned. If you're trying to give an more length, that's fine. But if you're trying to give lesser length than what we have, then it gives an error like values might have been, the entire value is not printed. You'll get some warnings like that because you are not supposed to have any warnings in your log. So
right,
it's
right.
better to rename, or when you are creating a new variable itself, try to give the length before in your program code.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's
Thanks.
say I have length as 10. Let's say I have length as 10 and I have the value as height, right? So what you want to
Uh-huh.
do is you want to assign length to this only 6 because the maximum length you have is 6. So, but length is already assigned as 10. When you are trying to give length as 6, what SAS thinks is it won't searches what was the actual value's length. It says some value has been missing because it is thinking that it has 4 more characters. SAS
Okay.
is thinking that it is missing 4 of these characters. Then it prints warning.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
might get some warning like that if you are doing or trying to replace. If you are giving more length, that's fine. It takes it. If you are giving length 12, then it takes it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
Hi, Bosky. Were you able to download the SAS finally? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen you in last class also, I think.
Actually,
You have missed a lot of classes. And tomorrow we won't be having class. Okay. Okay, Bosky. And tomorrow we won't be having class. How about the people staying in New Jersey? Can you come next weekend to in class?
Sarah, can you tell me where is it? Because I stay in Atlantic City. So
Uh-huh.
if it is in Jersey City, so I have to take a ride. Uh,
No, it
so
is
I
it is in Edison.
By
Edison.
what time you are
No,
supposed
it
to be
it,
there?
it is in Edison or IT America's office.
Okay, but